Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of The Future is your boy, your quintessential Puerto Rican muffin, Jorge, aka Muffins Martinez, man. And I'm excited because this episode here, like I mentioned before, is called The Future because it's individuals that I've been looking for in YouTube for a while now. And I'm certain that in a year or less than 2 years, they're going to be making it big somewhere and you're going to know their names everywhere. And my first person that I got is straight from La Isla del Encanto, where we're from, de Puerto Rico. Can you please introduce yourself?
Ahora sí. Hola, hola.
Hola,
Llegué.
hola. There you
Like
go.
the shirt.
The shirt says, hola, hola. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Ms. Robles, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I know you're busy as hell. And it's crazy because we're going to start. And by the time we get done, people are going to know how busy you've become in the last year. So
Hopefully.
hopefully, and I'm excited. And the first question that we always ask, and we could do Spanglish because we speak both of
Let's
them.
do Spanglish. No me
We do
voy a
Spanglish.
quejar.
Yeah, exactamente. So the first question that I want to know is exactly when did you know wrestling is what I want to do?
And this, wow, I've always been like a fan ever since I was a kid. Like, I'm not gonna deny it. I used to be a kid that was pretty much raised con boys around her, mis primo. We were like five, a total of five, and like I was the middle kid, and I was a girly girl slash tomboy. I was a weird a mess. I was a hot mess. But like I related to them watching sports, watching stuff, and I remember one of my cousins que ahora no ve nada de lucha libre, which is like una ironía de la vida. He goes up to me, and you remember the WWE magazines back in the 2000s? He brought it en uno de los veranos con la abuela, con tata, con abuela. And he was like, and he knew how to get me. He was just showing me lo que eran las divas de ese momento that were kind of like breaking the norm. Una Molly Holly, una Victoria, una Lita, una China. Like he knew how to captivate my attention. Tampoco sin minimizar lo que hizo Trish Stratus también. Like, él me inculcó en cosas que I think like he knew que eso era lo que iba a hacer ese like family tie like bigger. And then always been a fan, siempre lo vi. And then back in 2019, este WWE live show in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
It was on October-ish.
Yes.
I just posted a picture.
Yep.
I posted a picture and then when I say I'm a hot mess, I mean it. Uno de los fotógrafos que, like, when I used to be like do a lot of modeling back then, he works for like a magazine, it's like a media's outlet aquí en Puerto Rico llamado Contralona, que it's also where I currently do the radio show. He sees the picture and he goes up like, ¿y por qué tú no vas a los de Puerto Rico? Because that's a fact. Yo nunca iba a las carteleras de Puerto Rico. I am a fraud en ese aspecto, which is kind of sad. Y yo le digo, because I know me, and I'll most likely get on the ring and ask somebody to train me. And then he says, yo conozco a alguien. Y dicho y hecho, he starts writing me on WhatsApp. I know, like, it's really funny because people in the US barely use WhatsApp, and then I always say WhatsApp, and everyone's like, what? But we started writing on WhatsApp, and he's like, oh, I know this person, which ended up being El Escorpión, Mike Mendoza. Where I started training in Espiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo back. I always joke that I say 2019, but it makes it look cool because people just think it's like I've been training for like principio de 2019, but that's like a lie. Porque yo llegué like November and then December and then vacations and then COVID.
Yeah, COVID, yep.
So, yeah, so technically como que unofficially, yes, I started November 2019, but being consistent, it happened after like empezaron a quitar the pandemic. So I guess like el toque de queda, they were like a lot of like laws that didn't let like, so I guess it was like half 2020-ish, almost 2021 cuando por fin le pude caer de miedo, but I knew since day one, like, I am not a quitter. Everything I set my mind to, I go there. And I remember everybody was like, esto se va a quitar. Porque if you know me, I'm a coward. I am a coward. Like, rodada, basic stuff. I was like, I would freak out. La caída. Same thing. I'd be like, sospechoso. Not my thing. I'd still do them. And I feel like that's one of the things that, like, fue bien como que, but like the fact that even though I was scared, I kept going. I knew that was the exact moment that this is what I want to do with my life.
Now, you said about the fear, el miedo que siempre da uno cuando empieza. Do you still feel that same way now still?
Todo el tiempo. Every time I've had, like, I feel like I've been blessed in the sense that not like I've been able to leave the island with like a year and a half in since my debut. So every time I go to a new place, every time I do a show, I'm freaking out internally. And it's just that fear of like not being able to transmit the message that I want to. Because I am very my face talks for me. Let's be honest, it does. So
and it does. You know, you got the big smiley face.
The big smiley face, the braids. It's very self-explanatory. Pero I'm terrified that sometimes I won't be able to transmit that on the ring. So I get afraid, and I feel like I make myself small. Okay. So that's something I've been currently working on a lot to look bigger, even though I'm 5'5" on a good day.
Now, you said you started 2019 and then COVID and then 2020. Now, you started with EPW Dojo, which is in Puerto Rico.
Espíritu Pro Wrestling Dojo. That was my debut match was there. But before I started wrestling, because opportunities tend to knock on my door in the most like interesting ways. I started out as an interviewer. That's where the hola hola comes from.
Yeah.
That was the whole joke. Like the whole way it started, and it just stuck.
Yeah.
It was just like you have to say something, present yourself, and I'm like hola hola, and it just stayed, and it's going on with me, and even now as a wrestler, it's the constant reminder from where I came from.
Exactly.
So it's so cool to have that whole background, like interviewer turned wrestler, la chica del hola hola, Nahir Robles. So it's really cool to have that on my repertoire of like backstory.
Now, from there, which other companies, promotions in Puerto Rico have you wrestled in?
Okay, so I am currently part of IWA, who recently had their 25th anniversary. I participated in La Copa Génesis, which was a tribute to La Chica del Alto Voltaje, who unfortunately passed away last year from a battle of cancer. She was like one of the best of her generation. Like she was a force to be reckoned with. She was great. Like she was everything. She was full of life. I unfortunately never had the opportunity to meet her. Like when she was wrestling, I met her when she presented herself at Lost Summerfest in 2022, when they did this show called Luchando por Génesis, where it was just like a show to get some funding to pay for her treatments. So that's where I got to meet her for the first time. And even though she was like not in her best self because of everything, she would still transmit so much good energy. And I feel like that matters above everything else.
And I saw it was you, 3 other girls from Puerto Rico, and then they brought La Brava and Ivelisse from up here.
Ivelisse wrestled against Evie, which was crazy because like they've known each other for a while. And in the Rumble, there was Jaide, who's currently doing shows on Shine Wrestling. There is Natalia Perez, which is Miguel Perez's daughter. There's Cristal, who's not only a wrestler, she's also a manager for Doom Patrol, who wrestle in IWA as well. You got La Chica de la Actitud Roxy, who also is very known for her gorgeous smile.
Yeah.
And we also had two more competitors nobody was expecting, which is Bitterness and La Perla Negra Alison.
Okay.
So that was like, what? That was the wild card for all of us. We were like, what?
Yeah, I saw, and then I saw another one, La Gema.
Hema's currently, she wasn't in the show because she's currently in OVW.
OVW, yes.
So that's awesome as well. Like we got Puerto Ricans everywhere, so that's amazing.
Now she was there in your company. December, right? Yeah,
she did the December 16th show. It was a fatal 4-way they did. I wasn't on that show because I was in Georgia. Yep. So I was like, tough crowd.
Now, when was your first travel to the States, and how were your nerves, and how did you take actually finally going like, wow, I'm leaving Puerto Rico to go to the States to do something that I want to do?
Okay, so my first, I guess, unofficial opportunity, I did customs before I actually traveled out for like matches, normal matches. I do custom matches with Liberty Pro Wrestling, which I'm going in May again. They were the first people that actually said, we would love to have you. And it's been a really good relationship with them. But fun fact, it's always Florida for me. It's always Puerto Rico 2.0 for me.
Hey, you got to go when it's hot.
They know. And then I remember I did 3 debuts that week because I was there for a week. I debuted in Pride of Wrestling. I was originally not even supposed to wrestle that match. I was interviewing backstage. And then your girl here always has her gear on her backpack. So they said, we need it. And I'm like, I'm here.
Always. That's a good thing. Always take your gear with you. You never know.
Yeah, like I learned that was the day I was like, I'm bringing it just in case. And then that's actually the first time I ever wrestled La Brava, who I always joke that I have history with her. She was on my second practice ever when they did the Pablo Marquez seminar. When I debuted as a ballet in IWA Florida, she was also there. And then boom, she's now at IWA currently, coming back and forth. Though it's like this woman keeps following me. It's cool because I get to have this story right by somebody else. So it's really nice to see that, to see it that way.
So she's going to be a future enemy and a friend in the business then.
It's like the way we just go back to each other. At least to me, in my wrestling story, she's the person that I always go back to, like on places. Like I'm like, you again. Like it's funny, you again.
Yeah, because I remember I started following you because I saw you on YouTube, and I started following you in November. And then I remember you did like one weekend in Georgia that you did Friday and Saturday in 2 new places out in like 2 different days.
I feel like I thrive on self-hatred and knowledge. That's literally what I thrive on. So I remember I did Pride of Wrestling, and then I did WWC Florida, which I did a match against Barbie Boy.
Okay.
Barbie Boy's like, he's like been known for like the longest time. He's like he's very like a Puerto Rican like icon like in wrestling community. And then I did my debut at CCW in Hialeah, Florida. I suck at saying like the cities of like the states. It's been a running joke. Everybody was making fun of me when I did the show in Ronkonkoma because I didn't know how to say Ronkonkoma. I still don't know how to say it. So it's been like everyone's like, ¿Cómo que tú dices? And I'm like,
I don't know if it's Kissimmee. Yeah, I don't know if it's Kissimmee or Kissimmee.
I don't know. I guess I'll never know.
It's somewhere down there by Lakeland, because I lived there for a year in Lakeland back, so I know it's somewhere up there. It's by Orlando. I know that much.
And then I did New York, which was like the initiation, because I did We Are Wrestling against Sammy Chaos, and then the next day I went against Valentina Vasquez for her BPW championship. And then I actually had the opportunity to also wrestle Dolly Darko the next weekend. So I feel like Florida is always the one that gives me like the first opportunities that I've always been grateful for. But I feel like Northeast has really like grasped and like helped me and never let me go. And I'm not even complaining. I'm so happy about it. Like,
yeah, because I know you wrestle for Victory Pro Wrestling, and that's in New Jersey.
Victory's in Long Island.
Long Island, okay. And
They're like it's funny because I'm gonna be in Staten Island this Saturday, so I'm like, I'm in the island areas, and we are wrestling usually in the Bronx. So I'm like, I feel like these are my people. Like, there's a lot of like New Yorkers, and I feel like I'm at home.
And down there, you definitely gonna be at home there in Jersey, Long Island. Yes, for sure.
Love it. They've been so welcoming.
Yeah, then I saw they got added you to a Bell to Bell. That's a new company that comes out.
I'm gonna be there in July, and I'm very excited about that too, because I'm gonna get to meet more like wrestlers, like women. Because it's always like a match or two with women, and then you're off to a good day. Bye bye. No, this is a show full of women matches, which is something I'm also very excited, because this Friday, February 9th, I'm going to be in Maryland at Female in Ring Entertainment. It's an all women show, so it's really nice to see that. Like,
against who?
I feel like that's something that Puerto Rico's missing, like an all women show. I've been literally like campaigning for this for a while because I want it so bad.
Who are you wrestling on Friday?
This Friday, I'm wrestling the damn woman, Gia Scott, Maryland's very own damn woman.
That's that, and then you go back on Saturday and wrestle somebody else. Jeez.
And then I go on Saturday and I'm gonna wrestle for the Warriors of Wrestling Women's Champion, Angel Metro, because I really want to give that title a good vacation here in Puerto Rico, because that title deserves to know what good seasoning is. It deserves to know. Like, I'm gonna take the title, and I'm like, you and I are hanging out on the beach with piña coladas, and then I'm gonna wrestle you, and I'm gonna protect you again against all the women in Puerto Rico, and then I'm going to take you back, and then we're gonna keep fighting people. That's literally what we want.
And it's going to get a tan.
Exactly. And then on Sunday, after winning that championship and booking a beautiful hotel vacation with the title, I go back on Sunday to the Island of Enchantment to wrestle Two Hots for You, which is a faction in IWA. One of the members, Cesar Aldea, which I've already made the joke. He's going to go viral because of me, and we don't care about it.
Hey, if you do go viral, make it for the right reasons and not for the bad reasons.
It's always for the right reasons.
Okay, good. Now, beginning of the year, you're already getting booked like more than last year, I'm guessing.
My goal this year is either to get the same amount of bookings I did last year, or at least like get 10 more than I did last year. For example, somebody asked me like, how many matches are you in? And then I had to like count. I've never like seen it that way. And I know that's a very like US mentality.
Yes, unfortunately.
It's no, I don't mean it in a bad way. Like they have a very good track record. So I was like, I have a really good memory, so it wasn't that bad. I know for as of now, I know my matches. I know all of them. So I was like 27. I did 27 matches last year.
Wow.
So to me, that's crazy.
And you're just starting off.
Yeah. So I was like, I gotta get at least this year to 60 or 75.
Wow.
And I got one. I did Saturday was my 28th.
Oh, wow.
So I got 29 is Gia Scott, and match number 30 is for a championship. So I really hope that number 30 hits on very well.
Now, how many cities have you been to? Florida, New York, Georgia, Atlanta.
I did New Hampshire, Wrestling Federation of America.
Yep.
April, I'm going to say it already. I know I'm going to be in Honor Among Wrestling, which is a promotion in Iowa.
Okay, Iowa.
I'm going to be in... I'm going to be at Wrestling Independent, which is a promotion that's in Philly, Pennsylvania.
Oh, WrestleMania weekend.
The week
Oh.
before. I'm gonna be March 23rd on them.
Oh.
They haven't announced the match yet. I'm just spoiling it for you guys because I'm
Yeah.
nice. I don't know who I'm
No,
wrestling yet, but I know I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, okay. So, of the places you've been now, where do you want to go that you haven't been yet?
So I feel like I'm literally gonna get myself a US map, and I'm literally gonna like, you know how the people do with their
Yes.
I'm just gonna like
Yes.
go crazy on it. I
And
want it full. I want to go to Seattle, Washington State. I want to go to Arizona. I want to go to California. I want to go to Texas. So
for sure you have to hit Texas, and if you do, San Antonio is called Mission Pro Wrestling. It's an all women.
Oh, I've literally seen it.
Thunder Rosa is a promotion. That's the one in San Antonio. For sure.
I know. I've been looking at their stuff for a while, so I've been like, huh. And it's again an all women promotion, so I'm like, I like this.
They have good talent there. I watch it every time.
They do. There's everyone. They look so good. Like accommodate. Like they mix so well.
Yes, and Tiffany Nieves, Puerto Rican, is the champion there.
And she's also, I think she's currently the LBW. No, Freya's now. She was
She lost it. Yeah, OVW.
She lost it. I was like, she was also, but she was former Shine Tag Team Championship with La Brava.
Yep. And she just got signed with the N.W.A.
It's crazy. That woman's everywhere, which is great.
Yeah, every time I see Latinas, I get happy. But when I see the Puerto Rican flag, I even get more.
You're like, we love you. We love you, girl.
Yeah, it's the pride of seeing, the young ladies just coming out here and working hard, and now his stuff is paying off. And I love it when they win. I want to see you win. I want to see everybody win from Puerto Rico. Damn it, I want everybody to win. That's me. So that's me. But now you've been wrestling for a year, pretty much, right? 2 years?
1.5. I think, 1.5.
All right. So when you started to where you are now, how do you feel from when you started and where you are now? How did that process go? How do you feel now? Yeah,
it's been a hard process. It's been very complicated in the sense that I'm very self-aware of like my strengths and my weaknesses. So I play a lot to my strengths to like just I also like train to get better at my weaknesses, but I know like I take a lot of pride on like being really good at my strengths. So fighting that, being very self-aware, being afraid of like, I'm very judgmental of everything I do. I'm not like with anybody else. I'm very hard on myself. I'm super hard on myself. I'm my worst enemy sometimes. I swear to God. So seeing that first introduction of like my first match, which was like kind of like in a rumble, and then seeing the transition from the rumble to like me getting more like used to like 3 versus 3. It's very nice getting to see all those matches like from there to now, because I've seen like a lot of growth in my persona, in my confidence in the ring, in the way I present myself to others. So it's been a really fun journey, but it's also been hard. But I'm very proud of like what I'm doing, and I know where how far I want to go to in the future.
Awesome. Now, I'm pretty sure you have fans, and you probably get shocked like, oh my God, I have fans.
Oh, so, no, you should see my reaction. I remember I did big event, and then I didn't expect like people to know me, because I just got here the other day. So there was this person, he came in, I think from New Jersey, and he saw me and he's like, I know you, Puerto Rico. And then he said, you used to interview, and I'm like, I was so happy. Like it's very, I'm very grateful, and like, I don't know how to describe it. It's such a wonderful feeling, like knowing that people know my story, know where I came from, and like, Boricua al fin. Yeah. It's it's a very nice sentiment.
Now, what would you tell somebody who's younger, who sees you for the first time and go like, I want to be like her. I want to be like her. What would you tell a younger viewer, male, especially a younger girl? Like, what would she have to do to get to the point that you are right now?
I always tell everybody to work hard and be consistent. Sometimes, there's people who are very naturally talented, but I always said discipline and, hustle will always be talent. So not only do you have to work hard and be consistent, you also have to prove that you want to be there, that you want to belong, and you got to pay your dues just like everybody else. And it's a hard journey, but it's so worth it in the end.
Mm-hmm. Now,
you can hear my dogs. I'm a dog person.
I heard the dogs, and then I started hearing the.
Yeah, you can hear my dogs.
and the coquille. So I'm thinking it's getting dark already.
Oh, you can hear the cookies too.
Oh yes, yeah, I heard them. I'm like, oh shit, it's been a while.
Oh, I get them a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just heard. I think, oh my god, the coquilles. It must be getting dark there, because you can hear the coquilles in the background. Now that right there is awesome, because I haven't heard a coquille in a while. So that's awesome to hear that. Now I wanted to ask you this weird question, because we're Puerto Ricans. We got curves. We get hungry and we eat, especially in the holidays and stuff. We go crazy with the food. But like, what type of diet or what type of food do you eat now that you are transitioned from being normal to a wrestler? Like, have you changed your?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a more.
Oh,
like,
that's a joke. That's been like the funniest thing. I remember when I did my first practice. I like. Because I used to do sports in high school, and then college was like, nah, I'm not going to do sports. So I was pretty much dead. I remember I did the first practice, and then the day after, I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my legs. So I was like, so this means I have to go back to the gym. Nice. So I've had to improve. Not only like I've been very consistent with the gym. I've been sticking to like I'm a sucker for like I love like candies. I have a sweet tooth. That's like I can't. So it's been very like I try not to restrain myself, because if you restrain yourself, it can be like a very unhealthy relationship with food. But I try to be like as healthy and consistent and like nourish myself in the healthiest way possible, but also achieving results to not only improve my stamina, but to improve my well-being inside and out.
So what have you cut off? That you said, damn it, I gotta cut this off, but I need it, but I have to cut it off.
So like, when I started practicing, I used to work as a pathology assistant. So I had a lot of night shifts. So I survive off of Coca-Cola or like sodas in general. And the thing is, I don't even like them that much. I'm more like an iced tea kind of girl. But there's never iced tea in the machine. So never. I was surviving off of like sodas to like get the adrenaline rush, and then and they're very addictive. So when I started cutting them off, I would be like, I get really cranky, very moody, and I'm like, I hate this. Candy, I've just limited it to like I can splurge myself on the weekends. I love I love the popcorn, but like the one that's with colors.
Okay.
That's my jam. That's my thing.
This is the caramel or the toffee.
Yes.
The ones I love. The toffee one.
But the thing I feel like I've suffered the most, like I've cut off, like, because like I thank God I started wrestling after I graduated, because when I used to get very stressed out in college, I would eat key lime pie. That was my go-to. So I'm a key lime pie girly. So I'm like, So it's been like, but on my birthdays though, I'm like, I want some key lime pie now.
Nah, for my birthday, at least once a year.
So it's like I don't see it the way of I deserve it. I feel it as a way like I'm not gonna restrain myself on my birthday. It's not fair for me. It's
not healthy.
no.
Now, do you watch any wrestling from the States, like WWE, AEW, anybody?
Currently, okay. If I watch wrestling nowadays,
yeah, like from the
of
States.
Course.
Okay.
I found love. Like I've always said it. I'm a sucker for Toni Storm and her timeless Toni now. Oh, yes. Such a great go-to. It's a 180 that she really needed. I'm also like a really huge fan of I know she's very underrated, and I feel like it's because she's been so long. I've always watched Natalia's matches. I think they're great. She's literally like she's been like almost 20 years in the business already.
Who you said that? Oh, Natalia Neihart, yes.
I loved her matches. I loved Trish Stratus's comeback, which was even better than the first. Oh, I was like, what? Somebody who really impressed me was Tiffany Stratton. She's also a person I see and I'm like, wow, she's so cool.
So if you could go back and you're like your best right now, like who will you, when you're ready and you go like, I'm ready to go all out, I feel good. Who is on your list of Nahir Robles? I'm a veteran now.
On my dream list. On my dream list when I'm older and wiser and more like with more experience on my belt.
Yes.
Oh, I definitely say Toni. That like everybody who knows me knows I love Toni Storm. Like that's my girl. Like I can't. I can't. She's great. She's a great wrestler. Her character change has been sent from the heavens.
So that's it. Your list is just Toni Storm.
That's my girl. That's like it. if I ever had like her. Not disrespecting anybody else. They're all great, but like ever since I started watching wrestling back, I was like, I fell in love with Toni Storm's character. I'm sorry.
Maybe when she, ever leaves AEW, she'd be able to go indie and go to Puerto Rico or something.
That'd be the dream.
Never know. So before, because I know it's getting late and I know it's dark out there and I hear the cookies all in the background. I hear them. Where can fans pick up your merchandise, like this beautiful Ola shirt that I did here, that I got from you? Where can follow you on your social medias? Is all that kind of stuff. Let them have it.
Okay, so my socials are an X and Instagram, rizoysarcasmos. I always spell it out because it's in Spanish. It literally means curls and sarcasm. So it's rizoysarcasmos. I feel like the spelling bee girl's still winning in my head. I used to be a spelling bee champ, so I take a lot of pride in that. My merch you can get in Pro Wrestling Tees if you look up Nahir Robles. There's a couple of shirts there. I also have 2 new shirts and a hoodie in luchateespr.co, which is where the Hola Hola is one, and the new one that was the Culo Talentoso.
Yes. I don't know why, but yes.
It was against Gemma that name just popped in my head. Let me see what else. On Facebook, I did the fan page. It was long overdue. I was like, I have to do this. It's Nahir Robles. You could message me there. My email's also attached to every page if you want to look for me and follow me. And it's our journey together. It's the Hola Hola crew. We're good.
Yes. And one last question. Any advice, any message to any up-and-comer that you could look and say, I did this, don't do this, or do this, any advice?
I already have it. I'm very stubborn. Don't be stubborn. I'm stubborn as hell. You could ask my coach anytime. He'll say, she does whatever. He literally tells to everybody, she did whatever the hell she wanted. Because I'm stubborn. I'd be like, I'd be very afraid, and he knows it's because I was afraid. And I would straight up look at him, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm stubborn as hell. Don't be mean. And he'll tell it to everybody. He'll always call me like a hybrid because he's like, she did things her way and it worked out for her. But he'll always like, listen to your mentors. Don't be me. I was very stubborn at first, so I hit a pretty big like rough patches for a while until I started listening to them.
Well, guys, you heard it from her mouth herself, Nahir Robles, straight from Puerto Rico. She just telling you, don't be stubborn. Keep your mind open. Listen. Take the advice. Don't go rogue. Do not go on yourself like that until you
don't be like that.
Yeah, and you're vet, then you could do what you want to do after that. You do what you want to do. Robles, thank you so much for joining us today. For everybody here, don't forget to follow us on the Urban Rest Network. And I will say thank you so much for listening. And Miss Robles, she's going to say hola, hola, and she'll say bye-bye, adios, adios.
I actually said something even nicer. I say hola, hola, and I always finish with hasta luego.
And just like that, we're gone. Yes.